WWE are accused of stealing an NXT gimmick twice. Plus, we have an update on the return of Randy Orton, and Montez Ford has commented on those Street Profit split rumors. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Now, it's one thing to be accused of theft once, but to be accused of theft twice.
That's the Grand Theft Auto.
It is the Grand Theft Auto. In the driving seat on this particular occasion is the new WWE gimmick Axiom, which is a kid as maths nerd turned superhero. Hey, look at you
Push
nerd.
his glasses up further, nose brace, yes.
I'm going to kick sand in your face, Axiom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty mean.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a heel now. So we saw the debut of Axiom. Now, the presentation was very unlike anything else that WWE has done, so it seems. The way that the camera moved, the general look and the feel of the character feels very big, very exciting. Kind of been suggested before. So, Chelsea Green put on Twitter, when this debut went down, "I am dead. This is everything Deonna Purrazzo pitched."
Ooh.
So it transpires from Deonna Purrazzo's reply that about 4 years ago, she pitched the idea for this gimmick.
Wow.
For the kind of mathematician superhero type thing in NXT. Whether it was for herself or for somebody else, we don't know. But this is something 4 years ago she suggested. It seems like WWE went, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." And then someone today is going to have. I remember. Lance Storm added, "Intellectual property unfortunately means they own every idea you have while under contract." So this is something that Purrazzo came up with that seems like WWE have stored in a filing cabinet and then gone, "Oh, we'll do that now."
It sucks, doesn't it? It's like when you watch it, when you see on TV shows where someone pitches an idea and then the person goes, "Nah, that's rubbish. How about?" And then they literally just pitch the same idea. And everyone's like, "Yeah, that's such a good idea. We'll do that." Kind of what this feels like right now.
It didn't end there, though. Indie wrestling star Razor Wing enters the chat at this point. Now, if you already know the work of Razor Wing, you will know all about how similar this is to him. I mean, case in point, we've had a picture of Razor Wing behind us for the last minute and a half or so, and you've just assumed it was Axiom. That's Razor Wing. He put out a tweet that says, "Mom, can we have some Razor Wing? We have Razor Wing at home." So there's the tweet that he put out with hashtag car at the end, Razor Wing on the left, Axiom on the right. From the outfits to the color schemes to the pose.
That is very on the nose.
Very on the nose for Razor Wing, that is.
I mean, it does sometimes. I can understand happy accidents. When happy accidents, when they occur, you're like, okay, I can see the similarities there. I get it. This very much just feels like a straight rip-off.
We live in a time where like everybody is coming up with content constantly, and you know there'll be people that will make similar lines, similar jokes, similar things because so much is being created. I'm aware of that, of the coincidences that are far more prevalent now than they ever were. But as you say, this feels very on the nose.
Absolutely,
very, very. If he was doing like I don't know that as a pose.
Exactly.
Or that as a pose.
A different pose or something might
have.
I don't even. To be fair though, even the mask and even the mask and everything looks very, very similar as well. It's
Wow. Sorry, I was just running through some poses.
What was that?
Put my fingers in my mouth like I did when I was a toddler. Yeah, it's all very similar. Now, the Razor Wing has, of course, commented on it. We've reached out to Razor Wing to talk about it some more. We haven't heard back yet. It'd be good to have a chat with him because genuinely he's a really cool guy as well. He's also put down a thread of like, here are some of my matches. Here's how I wrestle. So you can kind of see there's a lot of blending and borrowing from my side of the world here. Best wishes to Axiom and to Razor Wing because I think A-Kid is sort of caught in the crossfire.
Of course, this isn't necessarily his idea, is it?
I don't know. I don't think we should. Maybe time will tell that we do, but certainly not for now. I think A-Kid has just been told, "Here's your gimmick."
Yeah.
So He's just doing his thing, I think. Randy Orton flavored update. What's the crack with Randall Keith?
So Riddle was on Instagram with Prosebian Max and was asked about Randy Orton's status, and he said, Randy is still recovering from his injuries and hopefully he'll be back sooner than later. I can't give more of an update because I'm not a doctor, of course, and I don't have one. So, but I know Randy's in high spirits, and I'm sure he's doing well.
So the reason that we bring this one up, and you think that's not an update, well, it kind of is, because Randy Orton, last time we heard, there was potential that he might not even be back at all.
Yeah, until as well, like rumors of him perhaps coming back next year as well, which is a long period of time to have out. So to know that he's in high spirits and he's doing well, very, very good update right there.
Yeah, we send best wishes, because I think like SummerSlam this year, I think one of the conversations from yesterday we brought up in the last video with Jack was that Jack and I talked about how WWE are unhappy with the SummerSlam card, and like the plans they had for the card are very different to what they're currently doing. One of those was reported going to be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, and they've had to hit the Brock Lesnar emergency glass as Randy Orton's injury turned out to be much worse than they all thought it was. But I'm glad that there is a return potentially on the cards sooner rather than later. Now Seth Rollins is going to be facing Randall Keith's mate Riddle at SummerSlam, and he was having a chat with the Metro, not the public transport, the free newspaper on the public transport. And I wanted to get, and talked a bit about like wanting to get something original out of Riddle. He says, I want to know who this guy is. I want to know who he is beyond just being Randy's bro. He's out there having to stand by himself, but he's still out there doing Randy's moves, doing Randy's poses. I'd like to know, who is Riddle? Who is the original bro? I'd love to see something original about him. I'm going to push that out of him one way or another. If he doesn't want to respond, he's going to fall by the wayside, or he's going to rise to the occasion. We shall see. Yeah, if only we knew more about, long-serving independent wrestler Riddle, who in the last 12 months has struck up a friendship with Randy Orton.
Yes.
If only he'd done more before this.
Oh, I mean, this is the main
being beamed into the wrestling world like Mr. Bean at the start of the show. Apparently, what's happened?
Falls from a giant mushroom just into a mushroom patch. I would very, very much like to see Seth Rollins go up against the Riddle of NXT and Evolve, who's much more aggressive, much more serious in his promos. I also think, obviously, the way that Riddle is using and utilizing Randy's moves is going to play into a storyline between the two down the line, where perhaps Randy's going to be like, you need to stand on your own 2 feet away from me, and perhaps we get a little bit of a blow off there between the two. But I think Seth Rollins and Riddle is going to be a very, very good match at SummerSlam, if not one of the best ones that we see on the card that night.
If they get time, they'll have fun.
Without a doubt.
Have fun. Speaking of SummerSlam, another potential match of the night is going to be the Street Profits versus the Usos. With Jeff Jarrett as guest referee. I guess just getting his lunges in before he faces Ric Flair in his last match the following night. Ahead of SummerSlam, Montez Ford was chatting to Sports Illustrated and sort of addressed the rumors of a Street Profits split. Angelo Dawkins was quite upset about those.
Bless him, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I think he kind of gets written off as sort of the Marty Jannetty of the piece.
And I think recently
he does,
but recently he's shown a lot of promise as well. I think he's really upped his game, perhaps in part to hearing these comments that people have been making as well.
I think that he's very much heard what's been said and gone, I ain't getting martied. But Montez Ford said there's no plans really for him to enter the singles rankings just yet. He says the difference between singles wrestling and being part of a tag team is that all the attention is on you. And I am not ready to shift my focus yet. There's still a lot left for me to attain with Dawkins. SummerSlam is a huge opportunity. We want to make that night special. So potentially, at least as far as Dawkins is hoping, there's no Street Profits split on the cards.
Which I'm glad, because they're one of the top teams in WWE right now as well, aren't they? I think to break them up prematurely would be a silly idea, even though we're talking about WWE, so these things happen sometimes. But I think WWE value them a lot, and I think they can see the stock in the two sticking together for a little while longer. We've seen We've seen Montez Ford as well recently gaining a lot of muscle too. So that insinuates to me personally that he could potentially be getting ready to go out on his own down the line. But for now, I'm very glad his focus is sticking with the team.
He knows what he wants, but it's always that uncertainty about what WWE wants.
Yeah, of course.
Montez Ford, keep on keeping on. But if Anzo Dawkins invites you to the barbershop, do not go with him. Do not go with him. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Case.
Love you. Bye.